Late Union Rural Development Minister Gopinath Munde has finally been laid to rest in Parli, which is his native village. Thousands made their presence felt to pay their last tribute to their leader. Munde's daughter lit his funeral pyre a short while back. The leader, remember, met with a tragic end. It was during a road accident in Delhi when he was on his way to the IGI airport to catch a flight to Mumbai. He died of a cardiac arrest soon after the accident. Gaurav Sawant is in our studios, somebody who's closely tracked Maharashtra politics for us as well. Gaurav, extremely sad moment for the family, for the party, the entire country having lost a union minister. But from now onwards, as you were saying, very little time for the party and the family to grieve. Pankaja will now have to carry his mantle forward with an eye on the assembly elections in the state.
You're spot on. Assembly elections just 4 months away. Assembly elections in October. And this was BJP Shiv Sena's make or break effort. And Gopinath Munde was leading that effort. 15 years of Congress NCP rule in the state. Gopinath Munde was tasked to ensure BJP Shiv Sena victory in these elections. Now, immediately after he took over as the Union Rural Development Minister, Gopinath Munde, interacted with several journalists where he said his vision for Maharashtra, his vision for the country was set out, and Maharashtra would have been the testing grounds. 70% of India lives in villages. Instead of those people migrating to urban areas, he wanted to take development and urban areas to these villages and yet maintain their culture, their ethos, electrification, water, sanitation, roads, education. 5 areas of priority he told us that he wants to ensure, and he had just come to Delhi for that cabinet meeting where Prime Minister Narendra Modi was to meet his Council of Ministers. He was heading back to Bid immediately for that victory celebrations where that road accident took place on Aurobindo Marg on his way to the airport. And all these people, most of these people who are at the funeral ground here at Parli, they had assembled actually for victory celebrations in Parli, Bid just yesterday. Absolutely. And
Gaurav, a lot of people were seeing this as Gopinath Munde's second stint in politics. He was gearing up for a big role within the BJP. Also somebody who was being seen as one of the top contenders as far as the BJP's chief ministerial candidate was concerned for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. And Narendra Modi had given him a ministry that is believed to be very close to his own heart.
Well, the BJP said, our sources in the BJP said that he was tipped to be the chief ministerial candidate. All indications were him being the tallest leader of the party in the state. The fact that he was an OBC leader, the fact that he had a mass appeal and that he'd been working very closely from 1971 onwards when he was a young student leader. Pramod Mahajan brought him into the ABVP fold. He married Pramod Mahajan's sister, and the two had a major hold on Maharashtra politics. And Pramod Mahajan had seen this. Gopinath Munde described Pramod Mahajan as his best friend while they shared a very complex relationship. The fact remained that Pramod Mahajan saw in this combination an OBC leader, somebody who had a mass appeal, somebody who was very hardworking. Remember, Gopinath Munde was the youngest BJP president in Maharashtra. He became the party president in the state, party chief in the state twice. He was deputy chief minister in the Shiv Sena BJP government. And in this government, while the Shiv Sena of course said that Uddhav Thackeray is the chief ministerial candidate, the BJP saw this as the BJP saw Gopinath Munde as the chief ministerial candidate, and Gopinath Munde was the man behind that big push, BJP winning big seats. If you look at the assembly segments, the BJP did extremely well, and the BJP asked this time, they were jockeying for more seats than the Shiv Sena, saying that courtesy Narendra Modi wave and the anti-incumbency wave, the BJP was better tipped to win more seats than the Shiv Sena. But will all of that actually happen? Now we'll have to see how the equation has completely changed post his death.
Absolutely. And Gaurav, the symbolism of Gopinath Munde's eldest daughter Pankaja lighting his funeral pyre, not lost on anyone. She's already an MLA from Parli, somebody who the BJP top brass will also now be looking at, somebody who will be expected to take on her father's role, who is a powerful OBC leader, somebody who is also seen as close to the RSS, which is why the mass appeal, he was able to galvanize cadres of the BJP and the RSS and ensured a huge victory for the NDA in Maharashtra in the Lok Sabha elections, and which is something, which is a role which probably his daughter now will have to fulfill for the party, considering the fact that a huge battle is now before them.
She's certainly being groomed, but politically she's a greenhorn. She is expected perhaps, to now take his legacy forward, but how best will she be able to do that remains to be seen. Kamlesh Sutar and Sahil Joshi are both tracking that story very, very closely. How does the equation now change, and how does the Shiv Sena and the BJP, how will they react to somebody like Pankaja Munde now playing a bigger role in the party? Remember, she's a young MLA in the state. It remains to be seen how does she carry this legacy forward.
Absolutely, and Gopinath Munde has left a huge void as far as the BJP's Maharashtra leadership is concerned, considering the fact that the party was looking at a huge role for this leader. Who do you think is the most likely to step into that big role as the party eyes elections in 4 months' time? Are there any other big leaders in the state who do yield the kind of influence that Gopinath Munde did?
Well, Nitin Gadkari, the former BJP president, old RSS hand, someone who's extremely close to the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, was seen as the RSS man in the BJP. So Nitin Gadkari is one tall leader in Maharashtra politics. But can Nitin Gadkari bring the OBC and the Brahmins and the other castes, all of them to come together the way Gopinath Munde had orchestrated it in the past 3 decades plus? That remains to be seen. Prakash Javadekar again is somebody, Union Information and Broadcasting and Environment Minister, but he was playing a much bigger role at the center. Will he go to Maharashtra? All of that now remains to be seen. The party has several leaders, but intense planning and would now be taking place, and intense churning would be taking place. The Shiv Sena, of course, will flex its muscles a little, its muscle a little more now, considering with Gopinath Munde there, they did say that, why Gopinath Munde? He's anyway on loan to the center for 3 months and he'll come back to Maharashtra. We see Uddhav Thackeray as the chief ministerial candidate, but will that actually happen in the times to come? Sahil Joshi, Kamlesh Sutar, they're tracking the story on ground every day, can give us a better insight into what BJP leadership is thinking on ground zero.
All right, definitely a huge task ahead for the entire party, which has been pushed into mourning. In fact, the NDA, which came into power with a massive mandate, the first day of Parliament started on a somber note, had to be adjourned after a condolence message from Pro Tem Speaker Kamal Nath. On your screens are visuals of the cremation ground in Parli, where Gopinath Munde was finally laid to rest. Thousands of people have been standing there under the scorching summer sun to pay their last tribute to a leader who was obviously extremely popular and much loved amongst the people. Somebody who was a grassroots leader, started out as a student politician with ABVP, BJP's student wing, rose the ranks, joined the RSS, became an RSS pracharak. Somebody who fought the assembly elections, was elected MLA several times, was also the leader of opposition in the Maharashtra assembly when Sharad Pawar was the chief minister. He is someone who is well respected not just from people, earned a lot of respect from people within his party, but also from opposition leaders. Sharad Pawar, in fact, yesterday while speaking to Headlines Today, remembered the days when as chief minister he faced stiff opposition from Gopinath Munde, who was the leader of opposition then. And Gaurav, today we also saw Uddhav Thackeray come here and pay his last respects to Gopinath Munde. The Shiv Sena, whatever political differences apart, actually saw him as a really powerful force to reckon with, somebody who is actually capable of leading the BJP in the state.
Very close alliance partners, and Gopinath Munde and Pramod Mahajan, when Pramod Mahajan was alive, their interaction with Bala Saheb Thackeray, the Shiv Sena Supremo, was tremendous. When you see those pictures, they could take the kind of liberties few others could with Bala Saheb Thackeray. And Gopinath Munde was 5-term MLA in the Maharashtra State Assembly and a 2nd-term MP from Beed. So he was perhaps the most prominent Maharashtra BJP leader. As rural development minister, his entire thrust, what sources were telling us, was initially going to be Maharashtra with elections in October, and along with Nitin Gadkari. Now Nitin Gadkari is somebody who's the RSS face of the BJP. He was party president, comes from Maharashtra, extremely close to Nagpur. So Nitin Gadkari and Gopinath Munde were to lead the most aggressive campaign for the assembly elections now. But with Gopinath Munde gone, it just remains to be seen whether it will be Nitin Gadkari or Prakash Javadekar or all of them together taking this fight forward. It just remains to be seen.
Absolutely. The Gopinath Munde's death leaving a huge void in the party and the newly formed NDA government. Gaurav, thanks so much for putting all the developments in perspective with us, also telling us about how politically this is likely to impact the Bharatiya Janata Party.